Okay. Hello, everyone. This is Jean. This is Kleros community call, the second one for of March 2024. And today we don't have Federico here because he's at a conference in Mexico, at a Telefonica legal tech conference. He's presenting the new law in Mexico that makes decentralized dispute resolution a legal mechanism for dispute resolution. And this is something that we have mentioned on all our previous calls, and we are super excited about it because it opens the door for many to many new integrations that can leverage Kleros. And we are also organizing an event tomorrow with one of the lawyers that helped create this law and promote it. He's called Gustavo Cardenas, and we already had a call a couple of weeks ago with another lawyer that was involved in it, and it's pretty interesting to listen to them and understand why they push this. They are not directly related to Kleros. They just learned about it organically and found that it had potential. So that's also pretty nice about this event, is that it's pretty organic, and they recognize that Kleros can help with alleviating the traditional justice system in Mexico. So yeah, that's one thing. I think another event that we had the previous week, I don't remember if it was before or after our last call, but Kleros won a bid for securing the Shutter DAO. Shutter is a protocol that provides encrypted certain encryption services. One of these encryption protocols that can be built with Shutter technology is private voting that, some DAOs implementing on their snapshot voting, which makes the results of voting not visible until the end, the final period of the voting process. And they are also working on encrypted mempools, which might help preventing, for example, censoring of transactions and reducing MEV on blockchains, which is a huge problem on blockchains that, there are lots of people working on different solutions, and their solution is one of those. And they happen to be to talk with Kleros for a couple of years now, if I'm not wrong, because there's also some overlap between what Kleros does and this privacy encryption work, because of course Kleros, you have on some courts commit review schemes where you don't want the votes to be visible for some time to improve the game theory of the voting process. So I don't know, William, if you can share something about that, about the research we are doing with that.
Yeah, I mean that is something we thought about for years. We considered, so their ideas are based on threshold encryption, which is this, sort of like specific protocol that you can use to have people that can reassemble a secret key and then reveal something like when, like in our case, when a voting period ends, that no individual or no like small group of individuals can like gain access to this information before the voting period ends unless they sort of collude. And we'd considered developing that ourselves to like handle this question of auto-revealing votes, so that we could have commit and reveal courts, which we already have commit and reveal courts in some courts, but where the UX would be improved so that users wouldn't have to come back and make a second action to reveal their vote themselves. I was very glad to learn that another project was using this technology and develop, as like their entire project to develop essentially the same thing that we get to sort of latch onto, rather than having to like build this as a side project. So yeah, we've been talking with them. We're trying to make, we've thought about how to make V2 compatible with using Shutter. It's like a conversation that's ongoing in terms of like exactly the details of integrating, but I'm optimistic about like eventually this being usable in some not so distant future.
Nice. I think it is pretty funny that we have this meme that some people are sharing that okay, Kleros is developing their own bridge. They will then develop their own blockchain. So at least in part it was true that we were thinking about developing our own private voting mechanism. So hopefully we don't have to and we can use their infrastructure and their development. So I believe, William, if you can give your updates,
Sure. I've mostly been working on the same things I've been talking about in past recent community calls, thinking about how to adapt some ideas from the peer prediction literature to try to have courts, particularly in sort of early round disputes, that are more efficient in the deposits they require. Like currently our strategy for handling lazy voting to sort of disincentivize people to vote randomly is to just sort of ratchet up the deposits in those courts. If like the sort of situation is too extreme, where like one sort of type of answer just like wins over and over again, on a curated list, the answer is just like reject 95% of the time, then that approach like causes the deposits to be very high. And I've been trying to think about like ways to adapt this using maybe some incentive systems that aren't as robust to like 51% attacks and bribes and the other kinds of attacks we worry about. But if you're in like an early round dispute, maybe that you can do trade-offs, and that attack resistance isn't so important because you can always appeal. So that research has been ongoing. At some point relatively soon, I hope to share a blog article with you so you can sort of see what I'm thinking about. But like that and other ways to take advantage of the flexibility of being able to do different things in different courts and Kleros 2.0, more social layers, SPTs, etc. The same things I've been working on before.
Well, I have a question, William. Have you read the article? I believe it was published last week about IDENA and the situation with sock puppets farming, things like that.
I believe I haven't, so feel free to send me. Yeah, like that's interesting. Send me that. Like, I mean, these sort of like we had experiences with that in Proof of Humanity, and the question of how to like deal with puppet farming. And I mean, it's like it's less of a mathematical question. I'm not I'm like an incentive designer and things. More of a policy. Sort of like having the right policy and sort of in courts. But nonetheless, it's certainly a question we have to think about. I'm curious to like learn about other projects' experiences and what they've done.
Yeah, I'm interested in checking if they mentioned the SPT white paper in how these their learnings it might have an impact on what they were thinking with the white paper. But well, I'll share the link.
Excellent.
Yes, awesome. So I don't know, Marcos, if you have any updates.
Hey, yes, I have some updates from the PD team. Well, I will say the general updates, and then Alex maybe can say his part about DAOs and stuff. So about the PD team, in first place, last Friday, I think it was, we spoke with Smart Invoice. It's a Web3 platform for, yes, a Web3 invoicing platform. And they are really interested in doing a recognition of jurisdiction integration. So, well, the idea is now to work with a dispute policy, and well, maybe we are going to announce this in Twitter and the rest of their social media in the next weeks. Then another good news is that the Austral University from Argentina contact us because they want us to give the same workshop that we were giving in Mendoza, sorry. So, well, this is something that is going to happen in May. And then, well, I think maybe, today we received a new case of Lemon, so most probably we are going to upload it in the next days. So for the jurors of the blockchain not technica, be ready. And again, maybe Alex, you want to add something here about HATS protocol?
Yes, no problem. Yeah, thank you, Marcos. Yeah, I can speak about also in terms of the BD team, the ones that are more related to DAOs. We got a call with our dev lead with HATS protocol. It's an interesting project that is developing basically roles that are on chain and can be given like to some members of your DAO. I think it's really interesting for the future because we need this accountability in terms of inside the DAOs basically, and not having just token holders, but we also need some kind of committee and role that can be revoked. And yeah, there are a lot of use cases possible there. So we are exploring that. We are with our dev lead. So that's one point. We also did some calls with Ethereum OS. It's a DAO it's a framework that could be used to set up DAOs as well. There could also be very interesting integration with us related to curation, related to constitutional check as well. So there are things that we are exploring, and we are also still very close, of course, to ShutterDAO because, as you mentioned, Jean, the governance of ShutterDAO approved basically the use of the Reality Kleros module. So we are going to work with them to secure basically their and to set up some specific safe for that setup. So yeah, there are the things we are working on in terms of DAOs.
Well, I have the impression that there is a lot of DAO tooling that maybe in the bear market they were not receiving lots of attention. They now with the market turning, they are again receiving attention.
Yeah.
And people were generally more positive now, right?
Yeah, that's a valid point. Plus, there is definitely the thing that and there was some tweets in this regard. It's all these DAOs. I mean, some of these DAOs basically they built on chain, like on Ethereum mainnet. Now the gas with the bull run is crazy high as well. So when you need to vote, you need to pay like $50 just to vote on a DAO. So that's not sustainable. So people are also interested in a solution like ours, basically, that allows you to vote in an off-chain way. So very promising.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool also that Shutter, they really wanted to do things right from the beginning, right?
Yeah.
They moved fast. Like, I believe, I don't know how much time did you launch, I believe 2 months ago or 1 month ago, and we are already at this stage where we have it all being set up.
Yeah.
I have one question to you, Alex. The fractal integration, how it will happen? Will it come like sometime in the future, or is that something we are working on?
Yeah, currently we are working on with the fractal team. So yeah, we are currently at the very early stage because some of their team members were not available, but the work is in progress. So the idea is really their main customer is ShutterDAO for them. So basically we are working with them to have the best setup, best integration with them and ShutterDAO to allow basically what was what.
Nice. Well, one thing that I would like to mention is that, well, today there was an update on Ethereum that probably most of you heard about, but I want to leave it in this recording. There was the Dencon upgrade. Upgrade. It basically allows it creates a way of storing data in the blockchain temporarily that makes transactions for L2s cheaper. Just in simple terms, right? And this can benefit a lot Kleros V2 because we will be deployed on Arbitrum. So it's I believe it was it will be a 10x improvement. So that's really relevant to our use case because the cheaper network is, the higher. Well, we can basically resolve low value disputes that might have high volume. So that's nice. And, already mentioned that we're holding an event in Mexico tomorrow. And where else? We had one other thing, and I forgot. Oh yes, we were mentioned on the Gnosis Chain newsletter this week. If you can read it and share it, that's helpful to spread the word too. And oh yeah, I remember. I was reading some tweets about people asking what are some real use cases of blockchain that you have seen. Well, probably because there's lots of noise going on right now with new O2s and meme coins and lots of things that, well, they bring a lot of attention, but they're not super impactful. So one of these threads, it was pretty cool to see that several people were mentioning that what they think will be what people are not paying attention is that there could be very soon a service marketplaces being developed, or basically the on-chain economy. And what people get to their conclusion on their own is that for that to happen, you need some way of solving disputes, because if not, you cannot just trust someone randomly. So right now, for example, services usually, for example, services for the gig economy, usually the platform is the one that solves the disputes. But on Web3, you don't want some platform to decide by users, because that's hard to scale. That implies a different business model. So it's pretty cool that people are coming to the realization that they need Kleros for that. And this is also something that we, as Marcos mentioned, this smart invoice platform that we talked with this week. They are also working towards that goal. We have Talent Layer that they built a framework for creating, basically creating sites or platforms that connect workers with gigs, and they also integrate Kleros in their framework. And there's also Paydies in the Latin American markets. They have a P2P exchange, basically. They integrate Kleros in their terms and conditions, so that there might be disputes that come to Kleros from Paydies. And yeah, it's nice that this is that more people are pushing for that. So I don't know if anyone. Oh, there's one milestone that we achieved this week. That I believe, Alex, you can correct me. Maybe it's not 100% accurate because there were some changes in calculations, but we achieved 30% of PNK staked. or at least very close to 30%, right?
Yes, exactly. You're right. Basically, that's there is a small difference between the calculation from KIP 66 and the Kleros board. Basically, the Kleros board that is managed by Koki is showing 30%, and that's a way to consider the data. The one from KIP 66, it's a bit more accurate and it's a little bit less. But overall, I think it's definitely a great achievement. We are around this 30% threshold, so I think that's really great. If you take like the last years, the 2 years of progression in terms of staking, it's very impressive. So that's very positive for the future. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, one thing I would like to mention is that Koki will be improving Kleros board, so probably this difference won't be there eventually. And also, if you have any requests for him, like of any data you think would be useful to have, or a dashboard, or I don't know, a different type of graphics. Well, now is the right time before he starts working and prioritizing the features. So I left I just sent a tweet in the group of the Kleros account. But if you enter it, there's a cool tweet of Koki, or where you can just send him your feedback. Well, I think that's it for me today. I don't know if anyone else has any comments.
From my side, let's hope Federico meet important people in Mexico. Maybe, well, there were a few exchanges from Mexico that most probably were going to attend to Kleros event tomorrow. So, well, Federico might have some news for the next community call next Wednesday.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited for next week's community call too, because I remember when he went to Dubai, we also had a pretty cool community call. So that's the bar is raised. Expectations are high. Also, thanks everyone for coming. See you in the chat. I'll send the recording in the group. Bye everyone.
Bye everyone. See you.
Bye.